What's going on, people? Good Man Perfection back again with another banger. So this one here is about Claressa Shields. This is my fourth take on this video because I'll be honest with you, it's a bit of a tough one. It's a bit of a tough one to make it interesting but not be rude, because let's face it, how do you make a video interesting, controversial but not kind of disrespectful and things like that? So this one is about your girl Claressa Shields. Let's put her up on the screen. This is Claressa Shields in 2012. I noticed her because I did a piece on her in the 2012 Olympics. That's the same one. Remember I talked about Dwayne Wade in my previous video. He came down there with the NBA team, and Dwayne Wade was basically dunking on people, aggressive dunks, and just nasty with it. Well, Claressa Shields was there, and she was there for the boxing basically, and I got to hear about her. And let's just hear her talk about Savannah Marshall.
My opponent went further than all that because the girl that beat me, she got gold. So that's why I was able to qualify. And I think she only had to fight 2 fights for me to qualify. So, and after she beat me, she was able to outrun and beat 2 other girls. So that's how I got in the Olympics.
So that's the young Claressa Shields. She was confident. She wasn't arrogant, but she was definitely confident. And let's face it, guys, I like confidence. She was confident then. A lot of people backed up Claressa Shields. They still back her up today, you know. But she's lost out on a lot of fans. Why has Claressa lost out on a lot of fans? Because from the 2012 Olympics, she was only going up, right? And she was confident. What she was just describing there is how basically she lost to an opponent called Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall, as we all know, she rematched Savannah Marshall not so long ago, and basically, let's see if we can find it, guys. Let's see if we can go to it. Yeah, so she rematched. I mean, when you have time, watch it. She rematched Savannah Marshall, and she basically won convincingly. So I'm not gonna. I don't want my video flanked and blah blah blah. So I'm just gonna play that for you anyway. So you got a gist of who Claressa Shields is, right? She's someone that in the 2012 Olympics was there. She was talking about her loss to Savannah Marshall and how Savannah Marshall basically, after she beat Claressa Shields, she went on to then get gold or something along the lines of that, qualify for the Olympics. And through her qualifying, Savannah Marshall, Claressa Shields then got a second chance. And her career, she made sure that was that only loss. She wasn't going to lose from there. And she was just, doing really well. After that, I saw her several years later fighting someone called Christina Hammer or something like that. And Christina Hammer was quite a tall, attractive looking girl actually. Although Claressa Shields is beautiful herself. But it was a good fight. And Claressa Shields beat her up. And yeah, she was just going on up and up and up, and everyone was happy for her. But then she started saying things like, I'm the best, greatest woman of all time. Okay, she started to kind of, to a certain degree, maybe disrespect some of the previous women, including what's Muhammad Ali's daughter, Leia Ali, and some other woman as well. I can't remember her name now. And they were quite humble about it. Some of them were like, "Listen, Claressa, I'm old now, so you can't really be calling me out." But I still let it go. I still, still admired Claressa. I was still following her and everything else. But then she went as far as to start calling out men. Okay, guys, she went as far as to start calling out guys. Okay. And yeah, at that point I was like, whoa, Claressa. She was like, not only am I the greatest woman on this planet, but I think I can take on certain guys as well. And I reckon I can beat them. I won't knock them out, but I'll beat them on points. I'll box them and I'll beat them. And that's when someone like me was like, whoa, Claressa, come on now. I respect you. I followed you from 2012, but maybe you're going just a little bit, tad bit too far now. Do you understand? And she wasn't just calling out any regular dude. She was calling out like power hitters, GGG, Triple G. She was calling out a guy called Canelo Alvarez, and they were kind of laughing. They were like, when people were interviewing them, were like, "Oh, you heard about Claressa?" And they were like, "Yeah, Clarissa's really good, man. She's a good female boxer." And they were like, "Well, Claressa thinks she can hang in there with you and beat you." And they were like, Clarissa's a good boxer. Yes, I got to go because a lot of them didn't speak English, so they comprehended what the reporter was asking them, and they were like, "Yeah, she's a good fighter. Yeah." As if to say, "Look, stop it now, Claressa. You know, we admire you. We like what you're doing, but stop with this. Stop with this kind of silliness now. Do you understand?" But here's the thing: Claressa truly believed that she could beat these guys. Do you understand? And it's sad in a sense because it then put these guys in a situation where it's like, Claressa, man, just stop it, please. I'm losing my respect for you here. You understand? And then, to cut a long story short, she revenged Savannah Marshall, the girl that beat her in the beginning. Okay, and I think I just showed you that anyway. And then they gave her like Ring Magazine belt or some sort of prestigious award that not many women get. Do you understand? Because I think she was undisputed in 3 different weight divisions. And then she made this video.
I read an article and it said that Claressa Shields says if she was a man, she'd be the face of boxing. Where to lie? Name another boxer who got my accomplishments. And let's start from the beginning.
Right, and again, I don't want to kind of have my channel flagged and all that kind of stuff. And then she did another video where she was like, so then she was saying, that video there, she was saying I'm one of the best boxers. And then in this video, she kind of slipped a bit and said, well, no, forget about, you know, I'm one of the best boxers. I am the best boxer to a certain degree. And then she kind of retracted it. But listen.
If I'm not the face of boxing, who is? I got more accomplishments than everybody, that's for sure. You can't become 3-time division world champion if you don't fight against the champions in the other divisions. I did that. And that's why I am you know, one of the faces of boxing.
She retracted it and said one, but in the beginning you hear her say to a certain degree, I am the face of boxing. Do you understand? So she cleverly thinks about what she's saying and she kind of retracts it. But it got to a point where it was a bit silly. Right, let's move back to scene. Right, so Claressa Shields has done a marvelous job and I respect her. I really do respect her big time, right? I respect her big time, okay? But she's got to understand that men's boxing has been around for what, hundreds of years now? I don't know how long it's been. Since Queensberry. I'm not going to do the research, right? But we know that it's been around for, like, it's been sound, it's been competitive, since the 1950s, right? It's been competitive since the 1950s. We just say that, right? And what that basically means is that men's boxing now, from what I know, maybe I've got it wrong, but from what I know now, they're just levels upon levels upon levels upon levels upon levels upon levels. It's you might start off as an amateur fighting nobodies or this or that, but it quickly gets dangerous. It quickly gets to a point where you're in there with guys where if you can't fight, you're going to get yourself hurt, maybe even killed. That's the kind of level it's at. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, quote me, maybe I'm just talking out my behind here, but I don't think it's that deep on the female side of boxing. I don't think within a short period of maybe 4 fights into your pro, you're fighting killers. Do you understand? I don't think you're fighting people. Do you understand? So I think there's levels to it in regards to the men's side of boxing. So I'm not taking away any of Claressa Shields' accomplishments. I'm just saying that I'm sure where men's boxing has been running quite solid for the last 50 years, you have to be about it very quickly. Otherwise you're going to get yourself hurt. Whereas women's boxing, it's kind of like, it's hit and miss with real competition. And even Peter Fury said it himself. He said, in regards to Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields fight, he's like, look, there's just no decent competition out there. So he's saying it himself. He's saying, listen, so if that's the case, if there's no decent competition out there and only Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall were the only 2 decent female boxers, you can't compare that to the men's division in any shape or form. Any shape or form whatsoever, period. So when you're saying I've accomplished it in women's boxing, we are proud of you. Everyone is proud of you. But let's not get too big for your own boots here. Do you understand? You've got a little bit too cocky, a little bit too confident, a little bit too arrogant, a little bit too brazen. And now you're actually calling out some of the biggest guys of boxing because you truly believe that, you know, that you can do them something. Do you understand? And Keith Thurman he's a jokester because Keith Thurman, like, right, so in case people don't know, she's going to be fighting a guy called Keith Thurman. Let me see if I can get the video of Keith Thurman up. So she was basically calling out a lot of people, right? One of them was GGG, one of them was Canelo, and another one was Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman was like, look, I don't know why you're calling me out, Claressa, yeah? I've only wished the best for you, and obviously now you're talking about you want to fight me and this and that. But let's have it. Let's go. So let's see what Keith Thurman had to say.
We can raise money, and we can let you try to showcase your skills and talent. You know what I mean? I'll probably use my jab only, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't know why you want to gun after me. I've heard you say my name so many times in the past, but it just is what this is not what boxing is to me, right? That's not what boxing is to me. But at the end of the day, Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. just fought again a few years ago, right? So if we could do something for charity, if I could put money in the pockets of some foundations, you know, a plethora of foundations, if we could do something to get some money together, and if the fans were actually interested in something like this, it's not really in my heart, it's not in my soul, but for the people and for charity, I would make something like that happen, you know. And I would wear bigger gloves. I would let her use smaller gloves, and I would let her wear a headgear.
Oh damn! You know what? It's probably it's going to get flagged now and copyrighted, but whatever. You know, it needed to be said anyway. It's important. So Keith Thurman saying, "All right, Claressa, you called out my names God knows how many times. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's have a charity box. I'm going to wear bigger gloves and this and that. Let's do it. Let's go." And Claressa Shields is training for him. She's training for him hard. I think she is really confident that she can actually. She says she can't knock him out. I know I can't knock him out, but I can outbox him. And Keith Thurman has accepted it, which is crazy because I don't know how Keith Thurman's going to approach this. He claims he's just going to put on boxing gloves and play around with her and this and that. I don't think Claressa Shields at a level that she can be played around with. I think she actually can box. The difference is we're talking about, just like with the transgender video I done previously, we're talking about power here. That's the difference. So if Keith Thurman is playing around too much, she may end up beating him. And will it mean anything? Not really. It won't really mean anything. I think it may give younger generation of females a little bit too much confidence, and some of them may end up getting themselves hurt by men. You know, because there's a few Karens out there. How many videos on YouTube are there of Karens that are putting their hands on men and believing that men aren't going to do anything back? Or believing, some of them actually believing that they can actually fight men until they really get hit by men. So it may give them this false confidence, do you understand? I don't really agree with the fight, to be honest with you. A lot of people now have turned on Claressa and are like, listen, Keith, man, you need to hurt this girl and put her in her place. Just let her know that, listen, you've gone a little bit too far of it now. Do you understand? You've gone just a little tad bit too far, and you need to be brought down a couple of pages, you know. Thank God she did not fight GGG or Canelo, because they would have hurt her really badly. I think Canelo is 168 pounds and GGG, so they're too big for her now anyway. That's why she chose Keith Thurman. They're going to fight at the same weight. But it's bad. It's bad for boxing, and it's bad for any kind of combat sport because it's encouraging men to fight women, which brings us back to the whole transgendered thing in the first place. Do you understand? But I did watch the Caitlyn Jenner versus Caitlyn Jenner and Piers Morgan video, and Caitlyn Jenner did say, like I said, that she didn't agree with transgendered females going up against biological females with their reproductive organs and all that kind of stuff. Okay, she did not agree with it. However, her take on it is that provided a boy is on hormones before the age of puberty, then Caitlyn Jenner believes that a boy will not develop man strength and therefore can grow into a young female with a natural, well, with a normal amounts of testosterone and estrogen levels, so there won't be that much of an advantage. That's what Caitlyn Jenner believes. But again, that brings us back to the Dwayne, let's type it in here, guys, the Dwayne Wade situation, where people were quite angry at Dwayne Wade because they were saying, how the hell did you let your son, Dwayne Wade? Let's see if we can get it on here. In fact, let's see if we can get it. It brings us back to the Dwayne. So when Caitlyn Jenner is saying that, it brings us back to when Dwayne Wade was allowing his son to take hormones at a really early age. Dwayne Wade, hormones. Right, sorry. Dwayne Wade's trans son. Let's get this up. Just going to quickly prove this point to you guys. Right, so I had a better picture of it today, actually, better images. Right, let's see if we can find it. Right, I had it on here. Right, so let's go to this. Yeah, so just to finish this off, guys, let me just finish this off and say this. Like, yeah, so when Caitlyn Jenner is saying that, oh yeah, you can suppress, you can use these blockers that suppress the hormones of children, okay, of children, especially boys anyway, and then that boy will grow up to be the, you know, an equivalent, physical equivalent of a female, and then there won't be that much of an advantage. It goes back to the Dwayne Wade argument, where Dwayne Wade's son, Dwayne Wade allowed his son at an early age to transition into a female. Do you understand? So it's still, it's I understand where Caitlyn's coming from, but me personally, I don't think any kind of trans person should be in any kind of female sport, period. Okay, Claressa Shields, what you're doing again is wrong, and you're just encouraging a feud between males and females. You know, now there's going to be a lot of Karens now that are out there, thanks to someone like Claressa, that believing that they can put their hands on men. Do you understand? Some of them even believing that they stand a chance as well. So now a lot of people are rooting for Claressa to get her ass handed to her by Keith Thurman. So it's going to be interesting to how this one plays out. But Claressa, I just want to say that I understand where you're coming from. You truly do believe in your heart and soul that you are not only the greatest woman of all time, but one of the greatest people of all times, period. But it shouldn't have been about male versus female. It should never be about that. You know, it should never be about that. It's gone wrong. It's gone wrong, and it's gone wrong badly. And it's a shame that whatever circle you're around hasn't sat you down and explained that to you. That, you know, you've done a very good thing for black Africans, for black people, period. But this is just going a tad bit too far. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I will catch up with you on another one. Leave your thoughts and comments about the Claressa Shields thing yourself. Peace out.